Hello and welcome everyone to another Homeschool Quest live class. Today we are going to be doing a Deadly Creatures trivia. Please go ahead
Yes.
and comment with where you're joining us from and who you have joining us. We love to give you guys a shout out and see who we have with us. I'm going to do an @mention to everyone so they can get in here.
And of course, I forgot to ask when we were chatting before this how I can see people's comments because StreamYard has not been working for me. So if you could direct me
Yeah,
to
if the
that, that
comments
would be awesome.
if the comments aren't coming through on the side bar, then I will give you a link to that as well.
Okay, fantastic.
Live.
I think I actually
Okay.
might have figured it out. Yeah, I think I might have figured it out. I just have to hit pause so I don't hear myself. Okay. Fantastic. I think I figured it out. Today and technology have just not gone well for me. So patience, everyone. I am doing my best. Okay. Yes.
So let
Sorry.
me
I
go
didn't mean to
grab.
interrupt.
Okay, so if you have been enjoying the live classes that Heather has been doing with the super fun trivia and all the great information with the different workbooks and unit studies that she's been making available for free, you're really going to love the new club that she has just launched. And I can't wait to share all the details with you guys after this class. So be sure to stay until the end of the class to get an exclusive discount just for the Homeschool Quest that you will be able to use for the entire lifetime of your subscription to the new Love of Learning Club. So, really looking forward to seeing all of you guys in here and to do this super fun Deadly Animals trivia.
Yes. Are you ready to get started or did you want to share something else with folks?
I just want to give everyone a few minutes to get in here, and then I think that we can
Okay.
get started. Yep, we've got a couple of
Okay.
people. We got at least 4 people who are liking the post. Thanks, you guys. Please go ahead and comment and let us know who you have joining us today. Looks like we
Yes.
have Santa Baker, Jennifer Huddleston, Melanie Diaz, and Jenny Mulligan. Hi, guys.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
we've got Farabee Shelley, Rayleigh Holly. Thank you guys for joining us, and I think we're going to dive right into the trivia. So, if you guys are ready.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. So we have two animals that we are going to be covering today. So not every deadly creature out there. I wanted to narrow it down a little bit. So as you might have noticed on the previous slide, one of the creatures is an octopus. So we are going to be doing first half octopus and second half, as you also might have noticed, a frog. So the most deadly species of octopus has a body size of 10 to 16 inches. What do we think? 10 to 16 inches, the most deadly species of octopus.
I think that this one is true.
Okay.
I think that it
And
is as far as it goes. I think that if that the deadly octopus are actually small on the smaller side as far as it goes.
I also wanted to warn you, I looked this up and octopuses is the real way to say it. So
But
I plan,
I like
I know,
octopi.
I do too, but I looked this up before I presented this originally to my club members, and it is octopuses, which was actually quite disappointing to me as well. All right, so what does everybody else think? The most deadly species of octopus has a body size of 10 to 16 inches. All right,
Haley Lowe says that she thinks this one's false.
okay,
Hi, Christy
all
and
right.
Autumn. Thanks for joining us.
Octopi, I know. I
I
know.
know.
I'm sorry to be the the bearer of bad news right at the beginning. All
Rosie
right.
says she thinks this one's true. Hi, Carrie and
Oh man, we
Rosemary.
are so split.
It is split for sure.
It's very split. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so you were right in a way, Amelia.
Hmm.
The small ones are the nasty ones. So this one is actually even smaller.
Oh,
It is about
really?
half the size of what I explained. So 10 to 16 inches was what I said. This one is actually 5 to 8, and it is called the blue ring octopus. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of that. If anyone listening is from Australia, or any of the Oceania countries, then you might have heard of it more so than here in in the USA, because that is where it hails from. So that is, there you go, the blue ringed octopus. And this was the closest picture I could find. I don't know that it's super duper accurate, but I was like, well, it has blue.
It's so
That'll
small.
work.
That's crazy.
It
Always
is
the
very
videos always
small.
make it seem like it's bigger.
Well, yeah, they zoom in and do such a great job with that.
Hi,
Welcome,
Catherine.
Catherine, if you're the first time joiner, it sounds like. All right, so true or false? The bite of a blue ringed octopus feels like a bee sting, sharp and quick. For anyone who has not been stung by a bee, sadly, I have. Sharp and quick is the best description I could come up with.
I
Oh,
think that
and
this
by
one
the way,
is. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think that this one is true.
Okay.
Oh,
What
I'm
I was
getting
going to
outvoted though.
say is for the first timers, I want to make sure that everyone knows this is like not a competition. No one's being scored. This is just for fun. We are learning through trivia, and that is it. Yes, you are being outvoted. This is pretty much false across the board. Okay, well, with that, let's see what the answer is. You guys are correct. So this, um, for those who don't know, octopuses, I know, have beaks. So, spoiler alert, in case you did not know that, they have beaks. And the bite of a blue ringed octopus actually isn't felt at all, which I don't know if that's what you thought with your false. Maybe you thought it hurt more rather than sharp and quick. You felt like it was the worst pain possible. The bad part here about this particular deadly creature is you don't feel it. So yeah,
Crazy.
you sort of die quickly, and it's not good. You do not want to be bitten by one of these, um, unknowingly, especially. Okay, so the blue ringed octopus pounces on its prey. What do we think? Does it pounce on its prey? Of course, I left my drink directly behind me here. Hopefully, I'm still in focus.
Well, I'm glad that your daughter loves trivia, Rosemary.
Yes, trivia
It
is the
looks like we
best.
have a few more people here. We have Seema, Sandy, Julia, Latasha. We have a bunch of more people. Welcome, guys.
Yay, welcome. Welcome to returning trivia friends as well as new ones. Um,
Exactly.
all right, so Amelia, what did you think about this one? They pounce on their prey.
Hmm.
We've got a
I
true and a
don't
false so
know.
far, and
I
another
could
true.
imagine like underwater. I think that this one is true. They're a smaller creature. They probably move really fast. I don't know. I think this one could be true.
Okay, all right.
I'm totally guessing on this one.
Oh, that's the other thing. I feel like we forget to say this every time too. Amelia does not see these in advance, so she does not know. She does not have, she's not privy to the information prior to. It's just me. All right, it looks like the trues are winning. So let's see what we got here. Yes, so this is a very unique hunting technique for the blue ringed octopus. Not every octopus behaves in this way. but they corner their prey, which is just visually hard for me to imagine because they're like
Yeah.
microscopic. But they corner their prey, they pounce, and then, as we know, it's like game over at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, they grab with all their tiny little arms, inject that venom, and game over. So yeah, intense for sure. So don't want to be pounced by an octopus ever, apparently. All right. So, do we think the blue-ringed octopus does not squirt ink, unlike other octopuses? The other spoiler alert, I suppose, is that they have beaks and they squirt ink. But does this one do that? Is the question. It does have a beak, but does it squirt ink?
Welcome, Alicia and Anita. Looks like we also have Narcia. Welcome to the live stream. It looks like we also have Dana.
Welcome. I feel like we have a lot of new names this time, unless I'm
Yeah, I
remembering
think so.
incorrectly. Very good.
So
Okay, we're
I would
all
say
thinking
that
false.
I think that this is actually false because I
You think it
personally
does
think,
squirt ink then?
yeah, I do think that it does, just like other octopus.
Octopi, octopuses. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Does it squirt ink? All right, so it does not squirt ink. It doesn't need to. So they rely on that. It does its own job. They rely on their venom, and then they are actually excellent at camouflage. So they just don't need to squirt ink. I I mean the bigger ones I guess would have to. I don't know. Octopus kind of scare me a little bit. So but apparently there are creatures that they don't scare, so they need the ink. Um, Whenever I think of an octopus squirting ink, I think of Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, about how the little baby octopus is like he gets scared and like ink is everywhere. But not not for this guy. So he doesn't squirt ink. So there you have it. All right, more about the blue-ringed octopus. All right, so do we think, true or false, the blue-ringed octopus mother lays eggs, then abandons them to hatch on their own? Lays the eggs,
Hmm.
abandons them. There are a
I think
lot of sea creatures that do this.
yes, that is true. What do you guys think?
Haley says true. Do
Yeah,
they lay the eggs
I
and
feel like
abandon
this
them?
one is I feel like this one is true. My gut instinct is that because they are very venomous that nothing's going to mess with them, so they don't need to protect them.
All right. We have fairly unanimous here, I think. This one's false. So this is
Wow.
super interesting. Okay, so the mothers guard their eggs. They don't eat this entire time. They make sure that these eggs make it. And this actually kills them. It all seems very
Wow.
counterproductive. So in guarding their eggs, the mother dies. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This devotion to making sure that the eggs hatch properly kills the mom. So this is like a one-way trip, motherhood for
That's
for the
crazy.
blue-ringed octopus. I know, right? I Who would have thought? Um,
Not
because
me,
it,
apparently.
again, like I said before, so many sea creatures that lay eggs just like they do it and like move on with their life. Not
Mm-hmm.
these guys. Apparently very caring mothers. Who knew? All right, true or false? The blue-ringed octopus lives for only about 4 years.
Hmm.
Lives for only about 4 years.
What do you guys think? Oh, hi, Leslie and Esther. And it looks like we also have Bethany.
Yes, so many new friends. I like it. What do we think? The blue-ringed octopus lives for only about 4 years. I also can't tell. I get things in delay, I think, so I can't tell if any of the answers are from before or not. Do we think they live for about 4 years? I know, Amelia, what do you think?
I think that this one is true. I think that it being a smaller octopus, it would live for a shorter period of time. That seems to make sense to me.
Okay, all right. We've got a couple of falses. Couple of falses. A true. So we're all tied up now.
As
Oh.
it tends
We
to
are
be.
split on this one. I know, right? It's either like all or
One
split. That's
way or
that's pretty
split.
much it. Okay, let's see the answer. You
Oh,
were
wow.
correct in that they live a very short period of time. It's just a lot less than you thought. So 2 years. They grow very quickly. They have, the reproductive stage, which of course kills the mom. So yeah, it all happens very, very quick. I don't have super great details on what happens to the males,
Hmm.
but the average age is about 2 years. So very short, very short. The opposite of like dogs and cats, I think,
Hmm.
because they tend to live longer, I think, the smaller they are. So
Right.
and then of course there's like elephants that live like a really long time. I don't know. The animal world is confounding sometimes. All right, so true or false? The blue-ringed octopus is thought to have just average intelligence.
Hmm.
Average intelligence.
I think that this one is true because it is, again, it is a smaller octopus. But
Do you think the
the
bigger ones are
question though is
smarter?
it? Yeah, I think so. But that is the question is it average intelligence compared to other octopus or average intelligence compared to other sea creatures?
Mm.
We got a false, false. So I'm getting outvoted. Yeah, I'm getting outvoted. Hi Tracy
If
and
I
Clara.
remember correctly, I think this is compared to other sea creatures, but we'll see what the answer is because now I don't remember exactly how I worded it. So apologies. All right, yes, you were outvoted. It is false. So they actually are able to problem solve and adapt. They've been studied and they can do all sorts of different steps. Um, they think that the pouncing and cornering by itself is an interesting
Hmm.
adaptation that other octopuses, it just feels wrong.
It
Um,
does.
so yeah, through observation and experience and showcasing all these different creatures, they decided that this particular octopus is very intelligent, which frightens me, I think, even more. It has like a
Yeah,
lot of
a bit.
frightening things going for it.
Yeah, like
It's intelligent and it kills you quickly and you don't even know it's happening.
right.
That's like
Well,
the
it
summary
has
of what we've
camouflage,
learned so
right?
far.
And that was where I was like, ooh. Yeah,
I mean,
I
you're
can
not
understand why
even
this is
gonna
one of the
see
most
it.
deadly creatures. Right? And you're not gonna feel it.
Yeah, I mean,
Dangerous.
that feels frightening to me. I Australia sounds like a wonderful place to go to. I feel like I would never get in the water just knowing
Yeah,
this alone.
I agree.
All right. True or false? Clearly, we are talking about sea creature here, but do we think they aren't very good swimmers?
I think that they're very good swimmers. So I'm gonna say let's see how to they aren't very good swimmers. I'm gonna say this one's false because I think
Okay.
they are good swimmers.
Are good swimmers. Okay. So far, we're getting falses. So I think everyone so far agrees with you. Yeah. We have one true, but everybody else that's coming up false on this one. All right. Shall we see if they are very good swimmers? Okay, here we go. They don't really swim. They are just
Really?
like everything you think you knew about an octopus, which admittedly for me was not super a lot to begin with. Um, they crawl. They don't swim. They crawl and
Hmm.
pounce. So yeah, they use their arms and like crawl sort of like army style and then pounce. They don't have the energy to swim.
Hmm.
It's very hard for them to get enough energy based on how they hunt and the different things that they hunt to yeah to actually be used for swimming. So they crawl. It's very
That's
bizarre.
that's bizarre.
Yes. All right. So false. They crawl more and float. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The swimming just would take too much out of them. They'd have to eat more, and yeah, they don't. All right. So true or false? Blue-ringed octopuses are selective eaters.
I'm gonna say I think this one's true. Hi, Michelle and Tracy. Welcome.
Welcome. I love the one wow reaction in the in the likes. I love that everyone enjoys these. I have so much fun putting them together because I learn as I go. I don't just have blue-ringed octopus knowledge like floating around in my head, just in case anyone was wondering. Um, Interestingly enough, I did take a class with my daughter about Australia and Oceania, and so we did learn about the blue ring octopus very, very briefly, and so that's why I picked it. But this is way more than we learned in that. It was like a 5 minute segment on the blue ringed octopus. So, all right. So we have a true from Rosemary. They're smart creatures, so true. I like that that perspective. Because they're smart, they can probably be selective. That is a very, very interesting point, Esther.
I just feel like I kind of feel similarly that I think that especially because uh but because they're clever, but also because they can be selective because they can take down whatever they want as long as they can eat
Yeah,
it.
yes, exactly. Exactly. The preschool group that you care for. Well, I would choose selectively for preschoolers and like I guess read the room because we are talking about like death and whatnot sort of frequently. But all of my other classes I think are less frightening. I think so anyway. So those might be really cool. And not that I'm trying to say like leave this class right now. Definitely stick around and pick and choose what you would like because by all means if you know your audience that is cool. All right, so everyone was right on this one. They exactly like you said, they inject the venom, they soften the meat, they this is a good point for bringing up how smart they are. So they don't have to eat the entire thing. They only
Hmm.
eat the most digestible parts. And this goes back to the crawling versus swimming because they are eating just the parts to maximize the nutritional value. It's a smaller part of the creature, so they have to hunt more often in order to like make up this very delicate balance. So I don't know if I were to army crawl across the floor, I feel like that would take more effort from me. I mean, I have fewer arms, so perhaps that's the difference. But I don't know, swimming seems easier, but there you have it. Okay. Blue ringed octopuses are colorblind. True or false? Colorblind. Oh, and I also want to share, if it's okay, the slides. The slides will be available for a week after. So in case you do want to, yeah, do this with another group or something, your own version of it. I'm going to just post the slides in there. Okay. Um, I think that posted. I hope that posted. All right, true or false? Blue-ringed octopuses are colorblind. What do we think?
Hmm. I'm going to say that I think this one's false.
Okay. Think that they're not colorblind. All right. Just a I love those. It's an interesting question because it seems different than the others and out of left field. All
Thinking
right.
face.
The thinking face. Yes.
Esther says she
False.
thinks this is
And
false. And we have
we landed on
Rosemary and
false.
Tracy. So it looks like Rosemary and Tracy think it's true, though. So it looks like we're split
We're split
again.
again. Okay. All right. This one is true. So they are super bright, like bright intelligence, but also bright in color. If you were ever to see a real one and not my watercolor, maybe blue-ringed octopus, they are very, very brightly colored, but they are thought to be colorblind. They don't they don't really need color in order to achieve what they need to. So they rely on patterns and in general brightness as in like light versus dark, not the brightness of color. So there you go. They are colorblind. They're a totally wild creature. I mean, they have, like I said, I am never entering the waters around where they live. I mean, every slide, I feel like they get more and more frightening. All right, so this one, to Tracy and your tots, this one might be a skipper. Blue-ringed octopuses will sometimes eat each other and their babies. So sorry.
Sadly,
Like I said, you know them best, but you think this one's true?
I do think this one's true with what I know of octopuses. I want to say octopi. I really do.
I know. I almost wish I hadn't looked it up. I'd rather I'd rather be like ignorantly false than say it the correct way. All right, so we got a true and
Hi,
two
Sally.
falses. So far we are split. Oh, another true. True, they love their babies. Um, oh, they love babies. All right, I see. Okay. So the moms care about their babies so much. I think maybe you mean false because the moms care about their babies so much that there's no way that they would eat their babies. So that would make this false, I think. Um, I'm just interpreting. So we'll
Mm.
see. All right. So do they eat each other? Yeah. They do. They are cannibalistic. I'm guessing it's either the males that are eating or females that are not like laying those particular eggs. So,
Mm.
especially if there is a lack of other food, they're like, oh, well, there's another blue ringed octopus. Good enough for me. And yeah, so, and even the females that are willing to die for all of those eggs, if they aren't dead by the time they hatch, they, of course, at that point, remember, are starving to death. So they might eat them. This seems like a very inefficient system. This is why they only live for 2 years. They have all sorts of problems in the life cycle process. So that's why they only live for 2 years.
Oh, Tracy was
Oh, your
saying
tots
that
love babies.
she
Yeah.
wants to hear that
Okay.
fact.
I know. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying. This one's probably a skipper. All right. Do they have a low metabolic rate? So a low metabolic rate meaning they process their food slowly. That's correct, right? It would be high metabolic rate if they process it fast,
Yeah,
I think.
like a
Okay,
hummingbird has a high metabolic rate.
right. Okay. So low metabolic rate. They process their food very slowly. I
Hmm.
know, poor babies. I
I
know.
know.
Like crying in pitiful faces. I know, guys.
I think that this one is true, just because I think that with if they had a high metabolic rate, they wouldn't be as selective with their food.
Mm, hmm. Solid reasoning. Yeah, everyone agrees with you. This is like people aren't even thinking about it. That everyone agrees with you, especially if they eat their own babies. I know. Okay, they actually have a high metabolic rate and they do
Really?
need to eat more frequently. So again, they are selective. They choose not only specific animals, although sometimes it's each other, and they only eat the most nutritious parts. They do need to eat more often because of their high metabolic rate. Honestly, I don't know how they survive at all.
Yeah, that's pretty
It feels
crazy that
like
they would
their
even
whole
get past two
system,
years.
right? I know, like how did they
Two
even
years.
make it that long? Do, yeah, how do we have any of them, and how do they make it a full 2 years? That seems. I mean, I had hamsters growing up, and they lived about 2 years, three maybe if you were lucky, and they didn't do any of this. So, they lived the good life. And I don't know how these guys make it a full 2 years. It seems impossible. All right, I think we must be getting to the end of the octopus section. Because it feels like we've had a lot of octopus questions. All right, yes, this is the last one because I remember this being a totally wild one. All right, blue-ringed octopuses aren't actually octopuses. I
Like, I
wanted to
can't
end
tell if
on
this is going to be like a trick question because you do throw those in sometimes.
I
Like, is it a
do. Yes,
technicality or is it just to mess with us? We don't know.
I do both.
It makes it
That
fun. It
makes it
really
more
does make it
fun.
fun, though.
What do we think? They aren't actually octopuses. All right, we got a false.
I'm gonna say that I think this one is also false. False, but what you asked?
Tracy's like, I may
Get
be
it
on
through.
to you. This is one your tots would probably be okay with reading, I think, if I remember correctly on the answer. All right, so we've got a couple of truths. We got like a false slash true. Let's see what we think here. All right, they are not. So I did all of this research. I did all of the other slides, and then I got to this, and I was like, oh man, what? What? It has something to do with how their body structure is different. I didn't have enough space here to go into all the details, but this unpronounceable word is technically what they are, as opposed to being an octopus. So they're considered like a false octopus. There you
That's
have it. I don't
crazy.
know. I didn't make the rules. So something about slight differences in their body compared to your standard octopus. I don't know. And it's not the venom, as far as I know. So the octopus, there's not an octopus. Okay, we are going to move on to poison dart frogs. Now, this one in particular is going to be the golden poison dart frog. I had personally never heard of that before. I knew about the blue ones. I feel like I see the blue ones fairly frequently and green ones, but this one is the golden one. So I don't know for what that's worth. All right. So the golden poison dart frog is 20 times more toxic than other dart frogs. True or false? Time to Google. Yes. Find out about that blue ringed octopus that's not an octopus. You'll have to go back and look at the other word, and I don't know, report back on exactly what that means. Oh, did you grab the word? Here, I'll go back for a second so everyone can like write down. Um, the other question here, can I
Yeah,
copy and paste
here,
it? No, of course not. Oh,
grab it.
you're going to be able to type it in. That'd be great. But the question we're on, oh, perfect. The question we're on is the golden poison dart frog, which is a very, very, very mouthful. I'm just going to say frog moving forward, if that is okay. Um, so, do we think it's 20 times more toxic than other dart frogs? All right, we got a couple of trues. What do you think, Amelia? 20 times more toxic.
I'm gonna say that I think that this one's false. I think it's 10 times more toxic, but not 20 times.
Okay. All right. We got a couple of trues. We got a false. Does anyone want to? For some reason, I can't scroll down. I get the most recent four, and it cuts me off. All right, very good. Well, we'll go with mostly trues. This is true. All right, so
Really?
the this one is super interesting. So, they digest animals that are toxic. And so that is really where the toxin comes from. So don't lick one. I mean, if you touch it, it's probably not super great, but definitely don't lick one, because it is quite toxic at that point, because of their diet. So don't lick one. If you happen to come across one, this came up a lot. I don't know that people are licking them. It's probably some sort of TikTok challenge or something like lick a golden poison dart frog. Don't do it. All right. So next question: true or false? A single golden poison dart frog has enough poison to kill 5 grown men. What do we think?
I think that this one is true. I think that it sounds like they're very poisonous.
Yes, they have enough to like line up 5 guys and they all lick them and everybody's down for the count. I don't know, like, what, who is testing these things? Why do we know this? Oh my gosh. I
Shannon
frequently
also
wonder
thinks this
that
is true.
about studies. Shannon, yeah,
Right?
also thinks it's true. Like, how are we learning this? Like what poor soul is like is participating in this study? I don't understand. Or is there some other way to measure it versus, I don't know, how much toxin a human can handle? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I am not a scientist either. So we are split on this one. All right, let's see what we got. A couple truths, couple falses. All right, so it's more frightening. It could kill 10 grown men all lined up. So this is
Oh,
the
that's
type of,
crazy. That's
yeah, I
crazy.
know, right? I thought 5 was bad, and they can kill 10. So this is the specific toxin that they produce. It interferes with muscle nerve signals. It causes paralysis and then death. So it's kind of like the blue ringed octopus, except you really do have to interact with this, and you will know that you've interacted with it. So
Yeah.
little less frightening in that respect. I doubt they're like jumping from the trees like in groups or something. I I feel like
No,
they're
I don't think
probably
so.
not. So
Uh,
yeah. Okay, so a baby one isn't poisonous. What do we think?
I'm gonna say that I think this one's true.
Okay. What do other people think? The baby ones are not poisonous and they become poisonous later on. All right. Got a bunch of
I'm getting
falses.
outvoted. Yay,
Nope.
Shannon agrees
We
with
got
me.
someone take. We have another one going true. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right. So this relates back to the diet question. Because the babies haven't eaten those insects yet, they're not poisonous at this point. So
Interesting.
they, yeah. So as soon as they start eating that diet, then they become that. But I think they have to eat like a certain amount in order to hit that threshold. But yeah, so they are born non-toxic and they're harmless until they start eating those specific insects. So yeah, they only kill two men, down from 10. Yes, they slowly work their way up to large hordes of men. And it, by the way, the information specifically called out men. I'm guessing it's from like average body size, but it just is kind of weird. I have no detail on how many females it kills, just in case you were curious. I do not know. All right, so the true or false, the males are more involved as parents than the females.
I'm gonna say I think this one's true just based on other frogs' behavior of the
Okay,
males being more involved with the babies and things like that.
okay, all right. I think that's solid reasoning.
Well, you always ask, not just true or false, but why?
No, I I do. I like to know why people are taking that particular stance. And yes, frogs for the most part, the males are definitely more involved.
Yes, Tracy.
I have you been in a rainforest? I'm curious now. I've learned enough about rainforests that I video is good enough for me. There are some awesome creatures that live there, like jaguars. You guys know I'm a fan of big cats, but like
Hmm.
from afar, from afar, I'm good. I'm good. Like right here in my office, watching amazing videos as opposed to like trekking through a rainforest. I'm also like irrationally afraid of piranhas. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like I feel like they're
that's
not
fair.
gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna come into contact with them ever, but yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Well, she would know then. Sounds like. Yes, definitely going with protective gear. All right. So, I think we're leaning true on this one. And you guys are correct. So, just like other frogs, they carry the tadpoles to the water. They watch the eggs. They transport and actually, I found this interesting. So I don't know a whole lot about frogs, admittedly, but they transport a certain number of tadpoles into different bodies of water
Hmm.
to help ensure survival. Is that something that other frogs
I
do?
haven't I haven't heard of that as something other frogs do, but I mean,
Okay.
I'm not a frog expert.
Neither am I. I thought that that was super interesting. You know, they want to spread the poison around. So, yeah, so they carry them into different areas as a survival technique. So, while the blue-ringed octopus is apparently doing everything in its power to kill it and things around it, the golden poison dart frog seems to have a better plan. All right.
Oh.
Can can they jump up to 20 times their body length?
Hmm.
20 times their body length.
I feel like this one is true. What do you guys
Okay.
think?
20 times their body length. It's always fascinating to me how much creatures of all kinds can jump compared to their body length. I mean, even just watching my cats, I can't even
Hmm.
picture it. Like me. I mean, like I can jump like a foot and a half off the ground.
Right? Not to mention cats always seem to land on their feet, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm good not doing the jumping. I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm gonna land.
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, I
We
can't
got
even walk down the stairs normally. So,
right? You gotta be careful.
right.
Hi,
And yet
Eiler and
these guys seem
Jonathan.
unaffected.
We got a couple new people joining us.
Oh, yes. Welcome. So the question at hand is we're learning about golden poison dart frogs, which I have just been calling frogs because that's very long, can jump up to 20 times their body length. And we are about to share the answer. Most people thought this was true. So not quite as much, not quite as much. 10 times their body length. Still very impressive in my personal opinion. But that helps them through the forest floor, which Tracy's mom might know about. Helps escape, predators because they're not particularly big, and also to catch their prey. So 10 times, still very impressive, not quite 20 times. All right, next question. These frogs can live up to 4 years in the wild and 5 or more years in captivity. So at least according to this statement, doing much, much better than the octopus, which probably is not surprising since they have a better life plan. What do we think?
I think that this one is true. I think that the thing is though, I don't imagine there would be that many predators out in the wild of the golden
Mm.
poison dart frog. Uh, so, but it might have to do more with like them living longer in like captivity. Might have more to do with like availability of food and like weather conditions and all that. So,
And
but I
like
think that this
all the
one's true.
safety gear like that would be required to take good care of them.
Yes.
I was surprised I even found like an in captivity. I mean, I guess it like zoos and aquariums or something, but this doesn't seem like your average pet.
Yeah.
I don't know. True, but with all the toxin, I know, Tracy. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, they have really good defense mechanism here. We know that they
Yeah.
can move around quickly. We know that they're poisonous and can take down quite a bit. But I guess the problem is once they are eaten, yes, what ate them is now dead. Poor life decision. But so is the frog. So I don't like where do we land on the spectrum here? Let's find out.
I think I think people are like a little bit like split on this one. Oh, so it's
So they actually
false.
live longer. Um,
Mm.
Probably because I don't know, other animals are wise to the fact that they're poisonous. And so
I think
6 to 8
they got
in
way
the
better.
wild, yeah, they're doing much better than the octopus. 10 or more years in with proper care. Again, I just sort of presume zoos and aquariums are where we're keeping these. Um,
Hopefully.
not too
Hopefully.
many in like home tanks. I mean, I know plenty of people with frogs. I know exactly zero with this frog. So, um, yeah, there you have it. They actually live a decent amount of time. Um, all right. So I know I bring this up a lot because I just find these things fun. A group of them is called an army. What do we think?
Mm. I feel like this one is true. I feel like that would be. I want that to be true because that would be a really fun. That would be so fun to be like, oh no, it's an army of gold poison dart
It's an
frogs.
army of golden poison dart frogs. They're just like lined up.
Yeah.
Each one can take down 10 men. I mean,
Oh.
I can just picture it. The names for groups of things just like, I don't know, just fascinates me. Um, and they're oftentimes completely hilarious. So,
So
all right.
we
We got a
have
bunch of
three
truths
truths and a false.
and a false. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is true. This is true. So your wish your wish came true.
Yay!
Um, so unlike other frogs, they actually do live in groups. And they are often called armies. They actually like communicate with each other and defend their territory together. So yeah, very, very wild. So I kind of picture them a little bit like our lions that we talked about last time, and that they are social and live in groups. So defending their territory. I just, to me, a frog defending its territory feels very strange. But all right,
Yes.
they they do. There's crying. All right, they do not drink. What do we think? They don't drink. I don't mean to make people cry. This is not what this is for. And for the record, you
Such an
guys
odd
picked deadly
question.
creatures. I wanted to
Yes.
do sloths. I just want that to be on the record. All right. Do we think they drink water, or drink? I guess I should say anything, any kind of liquid.
So I feel like this is true, but I do because I think that they're going to be more like in water or submerged in water regularly, and so they're probably going to absorb it through their skin. That's that's what I think that would make more sense.
Okay. All right. Tracy, go make dinner. I'm so glad that you liked this. You can always catch up at this point in the replay later. And I hope you check out my past ones and my future ones. I'm here every month. All
Thanks for
right.
joining us,
So,
Tracy.
yes, thank you so much. All right. I think that we're pretty universally true. I think people think this is true. And for exactly the reason you said, they absorb it through their skin and they don't need to drink with their mouths. Also, think of the rainforest. It's just very humid. So they don't
Mhm.
even need to be submerged or anything. It's just there's water in the air. So they don't really need to drink. So they've got that going for them as well. And so when they're kept in captivity, obviously that's one of the things that would need to be controlled, is making sure they had sort of a humid air, I suppose. So our
Yeah, like
aquarium by us, the one in Baltimore, has a
mhm.
rainforest actually exhibit. You can walk through, and oh my gosh, the humidity is like, woo, my hair goes insane. But I now I kind of wonder if they have any sort of poison dart frog there. I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, so bye, Tracy. All right, so golden poison dart frogs are nocturnal. Do we think they are nocturnal?
I think this one is true. I think a lot of frogs are nocturnal, so I'm gonna say I think this one's true. And also, if they're needing more humidity and things like that, it's gonna be hotter during the day versus colder at night.
Mm,
I think.
mm.
I mean, it's been a little while since I did my rainforest unit study all of those, 10 years ago.
Right. Yes. I have a rainforest unit study, by the way, for anyone who is interested. Um, yeah.
You want to drop the link?
Yeah, let me find the link and I will definitely drop that. Let's see. I did it very recently. So just give me a second while people are thinking about that. And I also have just a ton of rainforest animals, um, including a poison dart frog, but not this particular poison dart frog. Okay, so rainforest unit study. Okay. All right, nocturnal. So we have some falses. Oh, we have a question about when is the next one. I don't have the dates up. Do you have that? Oh,
Yes, your
got
next
it.
one
Perfect.
is on the 10th
On the 10th.
of
By
next
the
month.
way, I am going to be doing bats. That felt appropriate for
Oh,
October.
fun.
So, bats. I think you guys are going to like it. I did this one recently for my club and it was great. All right, let's see if they are nocturnal. They are not. So they are
Really?
diurnal and active only during the day. So lots of amphibians are nocturnal, as you said, but Not these guys. They are out during the day. There you go.
Isn't that interesting?
Just to be different. Just to be different. All right. Now, we know they're out during the day. So are they not bothered by bright days? What do we think?
I think that this one is false. I think that they're going to be bothered by bright lights.
Bothered by bright lights. Okay. What does everybody else think? Bothered by bright lights or not? I can't imagine they get too much bright light in the
Yeah,
rainforest.
in the understory of like a rainforest, I'm assuming they're not going to get that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're going to be on top, of the
Yes,
rainforest. I feel like not anyway.
that would be a great Pixar film of the poison dart frog trying to get to the top of the tree. I could totally see that as a Pixar film.
And like jumping like from
Uh-huh.
tree to tree at the very top. Like you're the the poison dart frog sitting there and you're like just looking over the land like Simba. I forget the line, but you know what I'm talking about. Like everything
Hmm.
the light touches.
Looks like most people
All
are
right.
saying false.
All right. Let's see if you are correct or if the falses are correct. They
Oh.
um all right, so they are not bothered by bright lights. They prefer oh wait, can be stressed by bright lights. Or hold on. I think I just wrote it in there wrong. I think you are correct. I think it's true. I will have to fix that for the replay. All right, so I did done this one already. How did this not come up before? All right, so yes, they are stressed by bright lights. So when they are in captivity, they need to keep it natural rainforest like and not
Hmm.
bright. So
Like very
apologies for that,
diffused
folks. I
lighting.
will fix that. I will fix that. I like I said, normally the kids are on me if I make a mistake.
You have very good proofing
So
process.
I do, yes. It is not me, it is other it is children. Okay, so they rarely swim. Do we think they rarely swim?
I think that this one is true.
Okay, all right. Like they don't need to swim, perhaps?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that they not only do I not think that they need to swim, but I think the majority of their I mean, you know, tree they're I think that they live mostly like in trees and things like that. I think they would be like in puddles, but I don't think they would like swim.
Mm, mm-hmm.
I could
Okay.
be wrong though.
I
So
fa-
like, you guys gotta come up with your own like reasoning and thinking
I'm
for this.
fixing
See, poor ability
the
to swim,
true
false. So it's a bit split.
bit
I feel better.
split. I fixed the truths and now the slides are accurate. Okay, so let's see. They rarely swim. This is true. They're in the water for the part that we discussed, where the males are, putting them in different parts of water to help with
Mhm.
species survival. But most of their life is actually spent on the forest floor. So there you have it. That fast jumping, 10 times their body length. So yeah, forest floor don't really need to be in the water too much. All right. Now, are they also not great climbers?
I think this one is false. I feel like they would be really great climbers, especially in a
Okay.
rainforest where you have so many different like layers. I feel like they would need to
Hmm.
be.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. What does everybody else think? Not great climbers. All right. We got a true. I don't know if Jonathan came in for the other one or not. If we just have a true for this one, or if we have a true and a false. All right. So we have
Okay,
a
we got a
false,
yeah.
false so far, and a true for sure. all of mine always say, like, 1 minute ago, so I don't know, like, none of them ever say now, so I have no idea, like, when
I
people are
know
answering what.
Facebook always sets it as like 1 minute ago.
Ah, yeah, I don't know why that is. Alright, so let's see, are they not great climbers? They are not great climbers. So,
Really?
they do live in trees, but they tend to stay close to the ground. So if they had to choose between the tree and the ground, they would choose the ground. They hunt on the ground, they lay eggs on the ground. They are capable of climbing trees, but they're not great at it. So they do it as infrequently as possible. So most
That's
often,
so
even when they're
strange.
running away from predators, they are running like straight as opposed to up. I know.
That
Like, I thought they
that's
had,
just
like,
so
little
interesting.
sticky pads on their feet.
Yeah.
I thought that was, like, the purpose.
Maybe we're just thinking
All
like
right.
tree frogs versus poison dart frogs. Maybe that's the
Well,
difference there.
poison dart frogs do live in like, other poison dart frogs. Like, I remember when I created
Mhm.
my poison dart frog unit, they do live in trees. Other
They're
birds,
just
I
they have to be careful not to fall out, I guess.
guess. All right, so this is the last one, guys, and then I'll tell you about the Love of Learning Club that we talked about earlier. All right, so these frogs can't change color. True or
Mm.
false?
I think that that is true. I think that they are just one color.
One color. Curious, what color do you think they are?
Um, I would imagine that they're kind of like a yellowy green.
Okay, it's kind of what I was going for with the watercolor. This is the closest one I could get to like a yellowy green. That is definitely what I was going for. All right, so we've got a false for sure. I wasn't paying attention to who was coming in when. So you said true. We got a false. Anybody else have thoughts on this one? They can't change color. True or false? What do we think? People also might have had to drop off depending because I know we're past time a little bit. All right. Well, I will put everyone out of their misery on this one and say that they can change color.
Really?
But not it's not like chameleon where it's like near instant or something. It's much more
Mhm.
subtle and this is crazy. So, do you remember mood rings?
Yeah.
Or are you too young for that?
No, I remember that.
So, okay. So they change based on their mood.
That's interesting. So it has like it's more like based on hormonal or like chemical reaction rather than like to their environment.
Yeah. I mean, they do
Interesting.
change with their environment as well, but mood was something that came up repeatedly in this. So I guess you can tell if like Fred is angry by,
Yeah.
by his changing color. So it's not for camouflage purposes, I guess is my point.
It's more for like
They do change
communication.
color. Correct. Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. More for communication. So that, my friends, those are two deadly creatures, the golden poison dart frog and the blue ringed octopus. Whew.
We did it, guys.
So yeah, we did it. If you would like to see my screen, I can
Yeah.
show you a
Share.
little bit about my classes. Is that okay? All
Yes,
right.
I'd love.
I need
I
to
think that
figure it out
everyone would
though.
love to hear about that. So I was just talking with
Okay.
Heather before we started, and if you really have enjoyed these classes that Heather has been hosting for the last 8 months, you're really going to love her new club. It has live classes, small group classes, workbooks, activities, and replays for the upper elementary kids. She has like a writing club, a history club, science, and a bunch of other things. It's only $30 a month for the whole family, and we actually have an exclusive coupon code. So not only can you get the free trial, but you can get 15% off for the lifetime of your membership with coupon code HSQ15. And this coupon code is only valid for a week, so go ahead and check that out with the free trial. Heather, go ahead and show everyone what they can
Yes,
expect with your club.
I am trying. It won't let me it won't let me share this particular screen. All right, I'm gonna do it a different way. Here we go. Okay. For some
Okay.
reason, it wasn't letting me load in that in that same window. I don't know why. Technology has been crazy for me today. All right, so this is where you go. I have a couple of classes so far. So there's going to be a writing club, a history club, a science club, a trivia club on Fridays, if you can't get enough of this, as well as a podcasting club. So the schedule is going to look like this if you scroll down. So it's not every subject is every day. So there's science on Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays has history. Podcasting and trivia is on Fridays. And writing is every day. So there are going to be a couple of different options for each of these. I was explaining to Amelia that it's essentially a hybrid of online, offline. You get to choose. So if I click into my writing class, for example, you can do self-paced. So as long as you have a membership, you can access all previous classes, and all of the different workbooks and worksheets and writing prompts, et cetera, et cetera. You can also do live classes. So for the writing in particular, I will be recording just myself every day. And then there will also be small group classes if you want to get more involved in the essays that we are writing. I felt that that was really important aspect for writing. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more interactive, but of course you can choose not to do it that way. So we will be talking about opinion, fictional narrative, informative, and personal narrative writing, and it'll just kind of switch off and repeat. So every 4 weeks, the cycle will repeat, but it'll be on a completely different topic. So you can just do a month of that if you would like, or you can keep getting better at the different types of writing. But it gives you access, a single membership for an entire family, gives you access to all of these classes. This is what I have for right now. But there will be more coming. So that is
So,
kind of what that looks like.
so you
There you
have
go.
so everyone in your family would be able to access this. So you would be able to have like as many students, basically your whole family, each of them, so they could participate in different clubs, basically.
Yes, as many as they would like. Mhm. And they will be able to download all of the worksheets and everything if they just want to do the offline stuff. So each class that I have, so for example, the first science class that I'm thinking about doing is about weather and climate. So there will be downloadable workbooks and worksheets and note-taking pages as well as extension activities. So there are like science experiments and art activities that they will download that we will not be doing in like a live class. So
Hmm.
that is an option as well. So you don't need to only participate in live classes. If you would like to do every single thing offline, that will be an option for every single one of these,
Well,
except
that's
for the
really perfect.
trivia. That's always going to be live, I think.
That's really perfect because I know that there are, especially with different, personality types, there's, introverts and extroverts, being able to customize it to each kid and having that single price is going to be really convenient.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of families are more than one kid. I'm a homeschooler of only one kid, but I know a lot of families are not like ours and they have a lot more kids. And I want this to be accessible. I hope this comes across in these trivia classes, but I truly, truly, truly enjoy this. I learn along with the kids. I will say that I am both a professional writer as well as a podcaster. I have been writing since 2002. My latest book actually just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I've been podcasting since 2015. So, Yeah. I actually got my latest book deal because of my podcast. So,
That's so
so those
cool.
are 2 things that yeah, it was so super cool and super fun. So those are things that I am already expert I'm already an expert in. The rest of it is all based on research, but I'd like to think I do a fairly decent job. I will say though, this is important, that the history, all of it actually, is from a secular perspective. So if that is something that is, not your jam, then probably want to at least skip those classes. The writing and podcasting and even the trivia doesn't really get into that, but the history and the science will be secular. So I do want people to know that.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Heather, and talking to us about your new club. I'm really excited to share this with everyone, and I had a lot of fun learning about the deadly animals.
The deadly creatures, yes. Oh, and then a reminder, bats are next month, and it's wild. You will definitely want to join.
And I put a link to RSVP to the next event in the comments, so you guys can click on that and just hop right over there if you enjoyed this class.
And I hope you did. Bye, everybody.
Bye!